ब्रह्मचर्यव्रती दंडी सर्ववेदांत पंडित श्रीमद्विवेकयोगी मां प्रचोदयतु सर्वदा. So talking about work, now we understand work is not something, such a simple thing. We never understood it had so much ramifications. You have to eliminate from that I, mine, my. You can't even think of it. That is why a life of renunciation, a life of sannyasi is not so easy. Then the question is, why should we go through all this? Is it necessary? Can't we just work, live like that? It is all right. If you don't have any aim in life, if you don't have any aspiration to make up something grand out of this life which is given to us, then it is okay. We can work like a laborer. But no, Swamiji says, having obtained the life of a human being, we should become masters of our working. Most of our time is taken up by the work which we do. So don't work like a slave. It is only a slave who will ask for a return. We must work like masters. That is where he brings into focus man with capital M. And actually I would say woman with capital W. We have to work in such a way, such a dignified way, such a graceful way, such a beautiful way, such a fulfilling way, that by seeing us working, others around should learn a lesson. How to work without asking for a return. The work of detachment. So Swamiji, let us see what he says. Be unattached. Let things work. Let brain centers work incessantly, but not a ripple should conquer the mind. Work as if you are a stranger in this land, a sojourner. Work incessantly, but do not bind yourselves. Bondage is terrible. This world is not our habitation. It is only one of the many stages through which we are passing. In the Sankhya Yoga they say, the whole of the nature is for man and not man for the nature. The very reason of nature existence is so that we can educate ourselves. When we are born into this world, into this nature, into these circumstances where we are now, that is the way in which we have to start learning the ladder of light for the ascent to the higher. So this Karma Yoga, even though it will be extraordinarily good if everybody can practice, but those who want to make of this life really something, then at least we should attend to this aspect of a Karma Yoga science. Because we are losing so much. We lose happiness, we lose peace of mind, we become slaves to our aspirations or work, our rewards, punishments. So much we are losing by doing work like a slave. So we must work like masters so that, let us not forget our earlier contention, so that we become living tissues. Now we know, when you talk of India, people say it's such a corrupt land. How can we stop this corruption? We can stop it only lots and lots of people develop a love for the country, its culture, its greatness, its future, for the welfare of the human beings around us, so that we become more and more work-oriented, not result-oriented. So if a lot of us can work, that is in a way we can say we become more and more service-minded. We want to serve people. So what we have to keep in mind, another important thing, we have tried to keep in mind so many things. So this will be another thing. Learn to work like masters, not like slaves. We must learn to work with detachment. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, he used to give an example of an ayah in a rich man's house. The ayah comes in the morning. She has to look after the little child there. She will play with the child, bathe him, feed him, put him to sleep. Literally, she will be a mother to the child the whole day. My child, my darling, my Krishna, like that. Somebody coming into the house will literally feel that she is a mother. But the minute it is time for her to go, the mistress has come back to take charge of the child without any feeling of attachment. She is ready to go back home because her family is awaiting her. So when you are working, we will work as though we are putting our whole life into our work. At the same time, with great detachment in our mind. So this detachment is to be shown not in the work which we do, but in our mental level. It is a training we give to the mind to become detached, removing from the mind, I, mine, etc. So in that way what happens is, going back to our earlier things, the work becomes a source of strength for us. It builds up our character. It does not dissipate our energies. Suppose the ayah was thinking that it is my child, and the evening came and I have to hand over the child, and she starts crying. She says, no, I can't go, I can't leave the child. It will look ridiculous. The mother has come back and she has to take over the child. So when we work, we will work with full mind. At the same time, we should be able to detach ourselves from that. This work with detachment is a beautiful Indian concept. The rest of the world is slowly learning to understand the science behind this and going back into the great Upanishadic sources, etc., because it is foolish to ask for it. The whole universe is spread by permeated by the great Almighty, and for me to think that it is my work, I, etc., it is foolish. That is another aspect of it, of great religion or philosophy. But in very simply, to make ourselves better human beings, we should work, but learn to work without attachment, without feeling I, my, and mine.